Welcome everybody to the Scott County Lady Cardinals News Graphic Coaches Show with Coach Steve Helton, special guest Malea Williams. I'm Kal Oakes. This is the first show of February. In fact, we're taping it on February 1st, and that means the days are numbered to this season. We're looking at a whiteboard here that the viewers can't see, but it has the number of practices and regular season games and days left mapped out. There aren't many of them left.
It's time. I mean,
it's go time.
You talk about March Madness. Well, the state of Kentucky has moved it back to February Madness. At the end of this month, we're a short amount of time. We had a team meeting yesterday, and we talked about, three things you can't get back. And one of those things that you can't get back is time. And, our time is short. We're preparing opponent by opponent. But at the same time, in the back of our heads, we're trying to get ready for postseason, which the district tournament is from the time we're filming this. We are 3 weeks away, practically, give or take a little bit from, like we was talking about earlier, WWE style. It's you either win or you go home. So it's on that Monday night, February 20th.
Yeah, that's a must-win game.
It's a must-win in order for us to extend our number of practices. In order to extend our days that we can be together as a team.
And then you would get theoretically one kind of less dramatic game after that, and then every game after that's a loser leaves the town. So is this your first go around with the varsity, Malea? Have you been through this grind in the past? And what is the stress on you as a player like at this point?
It's not too bad, and I'm kind of happy I'm doing it.
Yeah. Just, does it seem like the season? I mean, for me, the season seems to fly by. But I mean, you when it's game practice, like the schedule that your team has been on, do you have time to really think about that? Does it seem like it's been a real short season?
It's going by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
How about you as a coach? You've been through this drill, 17 years with the varsity, and before that as an assistant. I mean, what? Does it seem like it goes quicker every year?
Every year you come in with a game plan. The staff meets. We talk about where we want to go, how we want to get there, and then you get to February and you're like, wow, I wish we'd have done this. I go back. I'm already back to preseason. I'm like, man, I wish in preseason we would have hit this. So we would have been a little bit further ahead when we hit February. But it's an exciting time. I think more for the players and the fans. From a coaching standpoint, the stress. From my standpoint, it does build. It does build a little bit. We're in that grind right now. We've got some nagging injuries, just like everybody in the state of Kentucky does. Now we've got some sickness. That's kind of going through. So, I don't even know if you're going to get the true Scott County team at this week. Hopefully we'll get it by the time we get ready to play, in district tournament time. But right now we're just trying to, get better every day. We're not coming in and trying to reinvent what we're doing. We're just trying to tweak some things and keep our conditioning. That's one main thing I think a lot of people forget. With all these games we play, if you ain't careful, you lose your conditioning. Yeah. And with us, conditioning is one of our number one priorities.
Had since the last taping 2 pretty tough games, and they weren't tough all the way through, but they got tough, especially in the second half. One in the 42nd district against Bryan Station, which you managed to win, I think, by 9 to wrap up the first number 1 seed in the district, and then came right back a couple of nights later in a 3-point contest with Muhlenberg County. For a while there, they were nonstop hitting them from outside and getting back in that game, and you held them off too. I mean, two good games to prepare you for what lies ahead, I would imagine.
It goes right back to that halftime. What are we doing at halftime?
You and I talked about that. It's like you kind of blamed yourself after the second one more than I'd heard you do in the past. You kind of said, well, I let up a little bit. How was that game different? Was it just a matter of, I saw you subbed early and often, and you're up by, I think, 26 at one point. That's human nature, I guess.
At one point, Bryan Station, everybody was talking about, we got a lot of pats on the back talking about how good we played, and we did. We played really well at Bryan Station. But I know Coach Ransman, and they were going to come in here with something to prove. And, they gave us everything we wanted. Never did get in the flow of the game. Great win, though. Great home win. Come back, played Muhlenberg County. I know Coach Harper. 2001 we met when he had Muhlenberg North. He had Jay Perry, went to Maryland. I mean, he is traditional, had powerhouse teams that could all shoot 3. And, they come in here first half, they just come off a 3.5 hour, 4 hour bus ride. They were sluggish, you can tell. And as a coach, you're like, what can we do? Second half came out and we were sluggish because at halftime usually, no matter what we do well, I try to find something that we can do better. I thought, let's do something else a little different. Let's give them a rah-rah, and let's talk about how well we played, talk about all the good things we've done, and then the second half we went out and relaxed.
This is what we were talking about earlier. You see things in retrospect that you'd like to do differently than you did before. You would do that speech different.
But everybody gets mad if I get mad. So they're like, well, he's picking on us again. Well, we're up 26. What else can we do? Well, if we're not up 26, I guess I should have been mad we went up 36. But, it was a great way. We had to get our momentum back. We had to get tempo back. And the second that we got going up down the court, that lead increased again. Again, they came out and shot the lights out third quarter. Maybe it was they got their legs back under them from that road trip, but good win for us at home. Our seniors, 2 more home games that we can guarantee for them this year. Try to get another one, but as of now, we're at 2 home games.
He says he gets mad. Does he get mad as a player? Do you talk about halftime with Coach here?
It depends on how we play, but either way it goes, we handle business.
Do you kind of know at the end of that first half, as time's winding down, how it's going to be? Do you kind of anticipate?
And then hear her speak. This is Malea's first time in a varsity setting.
Yeah.
And as a freshman, already the grind, you talk about a freshman season, it's just, half the season of a varsity season. Malea's playing freshman, JV, and varsity. Mm-hmm. She's learning a brand new system because she's so gifted with just her natural God-given talents. The good Lord has blessed this young lady. She could be something special. I keep joking with her. The first time she'll dunk, we're done practicing. But she is that talented enough that if she'll continue to work and have good luck, she could be one of the first lady cards to bring a dunk home. I feel that confident with her skills.
Have you thought about that sort of thing? How long have you been playing basketball, first of all? Is this something you've done your whole life?
I've been playing since I was 3.
Yeah, so this is a lifelong passion for you. Did you kind of know at an early age you were going to be tall, kind of taller than the others? No?
I was 5'10" when I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good start, right?
But she hit a big spurt. They had actually moved away and then come back. When she come back in, it was like, who is this? And I'm like, oh my goodness. And, great wingspan, great timing. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, she's 6'1", 6'2", and she plays better facing the goal, and that's the way we're going to play her. She plays that way as a face-up player, learning the system. This is so brand new coming out of an 8th grade season, a middle school season, where it's kind of throw it up, go get it. Now where we're having to make reads and having to make options, and having a little bit different setup in the way we run our system. It's been a learning curve, but Malea, I'm just thrilled with her progress and excited about her future.
Malea, what has been the biggest adjustment for you this year, if you had to pick 1 or 2 things? It's everything, right? What do you see as a coach? Where has she progressed from point A to point B?
I would say right now, you put her in the system. Talking about a 5, talking about a 4, talking about a 3. She's
Oh, it's new this year.
This is all the numbering system. That's just the beginning stages. The numbering system's so new. If the ball does this and you do this, or if they cut here, you do this. It's just that experience, and that's why Malea has played. We've wanted her to get all that. We can practice, but that game experience, it's just, you can't take it away. And she's improved so much as far as just her natural skill keeping that ball up high. Big wingspan like this, throw that thing up high. We tell our guards, if you throw it low, she becomes the same size as everybody else. Keep that ball high. In girls basketball this year, there's very few people who've been able to get up, with her. With the exception of a couple kids down in Texas, which were bigger than I was.
That was kind of my next question was, height-wise is one thing, but is the varsity level just, you're getting knocked around a lot more, I would imagine, than you ever have before, am I right? How do you deal with that? That's got to be an adjustment.
I'm taught how to box out more and keep them out of the way, but I'm also little, so it's a struggle.
We try to increase her calorie intake.
Yeah.
You know, when we do pregame meal,
You're feeding her more than well.
Instead of one chicken sandwich, we try to put 2 to 3 chicken sandwiches with a lot of cookies and a lot of, we're just trying, a lot of shakes. But no, Malea, that big smile right there, that's what she brings to us.
That's someone that's good to have around a team.
Incredible. Sometimes I'll even joke with her and say, the second we can find that mean streak in you, you're going to be hard to handle because she'll block your shot and be laughing the whole time she's doing it. And, at some point, and, maybe it's before she'll graduate, she'll, and I don't want her to talk stuff, but at the same time, I would love to see her throw a shot and just kind of growl at somebody, just a little bit more aggression, but just an incredible young lady.
You've coached players in the past that have been the tallest player on the floor. Is that something that you deal with? Sometimes you have to get that mean streak, or is it sometimes you just have to be the toughest person on the floor too?
You just have to be who you are.
Yeah.
That's you can't make. I don't want to change Malea from who she is because I want that young lady who comes in here smiling and laughing every day. But at the same time, I like that enforcer mentality too, and it kind of rubs off on everyone else.
Mm-hmm. You got to play quite a bit more recently in the past month. I know when Lauren went out of the lineup, you were in there quite a bit. Any game that stands out in that time? It was really a big game for you.
Probably around the second time I did, yeah.
Now you started her in one game.
We did. 12 rebounds.
Yeah.
Came off with 12 rebounds that night. Very, very strong night for us. And, that's just a bonus. That's something I want her to look back on. And as we get into tournament time, that's that experience. You're coming off of it. Let's say we get in foul trouble. Let's say we have to deal with injuries. Malea has experience as a starter. She has experience playing, 12 minutes a game to always, sometimes 2 minutes a game. So she has that experience getting better every game.
We've got some big games coming up here. We talked about the number of games being small and time being short, but a pretty significant one on Friday night, home against Henry Clay. It's another one where maybe you handled them fairly in double digits, but it was a closer game than that at times. I thought the first time, but obviously going to be a different team you're going to face this time. I was going to say, it seems like that game was last year, and it was last year. Right? It was December.
Here's what you're watching that film. We gave up 82.
Yeah.
And that number sticks in my mind because we gave them that's the most they scored all year long was 82, and that happened to be early December. And so
good news is you scored 94. Right?
Oh, but definitely, it's going to be a battle. Henry Clay, Scott County. No matter how much we watch them, no matter how much we scout them, when Henry Clay and Scott County get together, it's a battle. We know it. And we got to be ready for it because at some point, Friday night will be our last regular season game with Henry Clay, but we very well could see them again in the district tournament. So, good game for us.
Do those district games feel different as a player? Like when you're in the locker room getting ready for those games, do you feel just a different energy, different motivation?
I just feel that we have to play harder.
Yeah. All right, is that in general in those district games you have to play harder? Yeah. You got a big game, a big trip, a long trip on Saturday. You haven't had one of those kind of bus trips in a while. You talk about Muhlenberg County, come over here. You're going to Ohio, heading east, northeast, I guess you could say, to play in one of those all-day events, but it's an early game.
Coach Graham, we met a few years ago through some mutual contacts, and we actually went over to their summer camp one year. He and I, great respect for one another. They come to the Hoop Fest one year even, and he's having a showcase event. And again, it's just a chance to get our kids out, and let them see what it's like, to play another team, a very strong team, Alexander, Ohio, coming in. They got 2 sisters, 2 guards who can flat out play. So it's just great to get our kids out in that showcase event and say, hey, this is Scott County. This is the way we play. A great environment. We anticipate a really good crowd. And I love that midday game.
Yeah.
You got to sleep in a little bit, get on the bus, go play, come home. I mean, that's a dream. That's a college NBA schedule right there.
Last time you played one of those showcase events, I thought was one of your best games of the year against Nelson County. So if you do half that well,
wow.
Things will be.
That would be nice. That makes that trip home a lot better. I mean, I know we're going to charter home, but it sure does make that trip home a lot better.
What's on the other side of the weekend? What do we get next week?
We rescheduled Fleming County. We had some scheduling with the weather and try to help them out as well. And it was good for both of us. We go to Fleming on February 7th, senior night, February 8th. And
And a top 10 opponent.
Top 10, top 5, top 2, depending on who you want to talk to. Louisville Manual's coming in here. They have 2 or 3 players bigger than Malea with the guard power. They're going to be an incredible task for us, and especially on senior night. Tara must have been the one who scheduled them on senior night, because I don't know who
just blame
would schedule Manual on senior night. I mean, that's just. It'll be a good game for us. Let's see what we got, and then we'll tip that week off and we'll go to Mason County, another top 10 team on Friday. And this is all about preparation for postseason. So let's see where we're at.
You feel like your team's pretty well prepared for this time of year? The schedule you've had has been brutal, from what I can see.
Yeah, I just think that when we play, we just have to communicate a little bit more, just a little.
One more thing about the tournaments coming up. I know today, being February 1st, they had a big draw at the KHSAA to talk about the Sweet 16. Now, as a coach, do you allow yourself to look forward to that and see, okay, down the road, if, when, maybe, possibly, might be, do you look at that, or do you just say, that's all in the future?
I'll be honest with you, today, my phone was getting blown up. My phone was, people taking pictures, people saying, oh my goodness, did you see the first round? And I'm like, I didn't see it. I didn't watch it, didn't want to watch it, because bottom line, if we don't get past February 20th,
Don't matter.
there is not one thing that's going to happen in NKU that we're going to have anything to do with. So, from a coaching standpoint, is the staff looking ahead? They got plans, we'll make plans. From my standpoint with this team, we're one game at a time, one day at a time.
Spoken like a coach. We'll let that be the last word. Thank you, Malea. Thank you, Coach. We'll be here next week. Until then, see you on the sideline.